Good morning, children. So, in today's class, let us start with a new lesson, that is getting to know plants. So, dear students, this is very interesting lesson. So, listen carefully and try to understand the concept. So, dear students, try to go outside near our house and near your school or near your surroundings and try to observe the variety kinds of plants which you see around you. Okay, so you will see a different variety kinds of plants. Try to observe their roots, stem, okay, different parts of those plants. So if you see, go through them. So some of its roots are different, leaves are of different type. Okay, so most of them are green in color, whereas so some of them having the brownish color or a reddish color of flowers, leaves. Okay, so the different size of stem. Okay, so you will go through the different kinds of plants and their even parts too. So we see that so variety kinds of plants in our surroundings, in the school, garden, nearby village, outside in the hilly areas. Okay, so now let us try to know the different parts of the plant. Okay, so already in the previous class you studied the different kinds of plants, such as parts of the plant such as root, stem, okay, branch, leaves, flower, bud, etc. Now let us go through a wonderful scene here. So imagine, children, that you are going inside a forest, okay, to see what all types of plants can you see in the forest. Okay, so you think that it's a kind of nature walk to you. Okay, so examine what kind of plants will you see in the forest. Okay, so first activities here. So what you need to do, try to observe carefully, look very closely all the types of plants and their branches, stems, etc. So try to observe the plants which are smaller than you in size. Okay, and also you will notice the plants which are about the same size of yours. Okay, and also another category of plants you will see the plants which are much taller than you. Am I right or not? So these three categories of plants you will see in the forest or nearby any hilly areas, right? So find, one more important point is here. So find what kind of stem they have and try to bend them gently, slowly. So don't break them. Okay, take care that you should not break them, and check whether they are hard or smooth or tender. Okay, so you have to take care of that one. Okay, so after observing all these kinds of plants which you have seen when you went for a nature walk, now so here there is an activity for us. What is that? So here we are going to make the categories of plants that which you have observed. So when you have gone through the nature walk in a forest or a hilly region or just outside your village, right? So now, so there are many columns are given here. Let's go through that. So plant name is given in the first column. Second column, so that is height. So what is the kind of height that particular plant has? Next column 2, so that is stem. So this is very, very important. So whether the plant which you have observed is having a green stem or a tender means very smooth one, or a thick means very harder one. So hard means much harder than, so thick means little less, so harder means very hard one. Okay, so this is a kind of, see, green, tender, thick and hard. These are the 4 kinds of stem the plants will have. Okay, this you keep it in mind. So next one, column 3, it is where do the branches appear. So from where the branches appeared in the given in the plant which you have observed. So whether the branches started at the base of the stem very close to the ground, or very higher up in the stem, so in the so tall place and the higher up in the stem it is started. So that you have to observe here in column 4, what is the category of plant, so which category it falls. Okay, so here some examples it is given. For example, tomato plant you have observed. Okay, so what is the height of it? So it is shorter than me because you went for a observation here. So tomato plant, when you go through that, when you observe it, it's obviously it is less height, okay, than you, right? So what is the kind of stem it has? Whether it is green color, right? Stem of the tomato plant is green in color. So what is the type of stem it is? Whether it is thick, hard or tender? It's very tender. Means it is very smooth one. You can bend it with your hand. Am I right or not? So it's a tender kind of stem. So what about the branches? So branches, did they appear at the base of the stem or higher up on the stem? Right? So it is just little much higher than the stem. Okay, though the plant is shorter one. So what is the category of plant it belongs to? Herb. So what is herb? I'll explain you later. Now just go on making the list here, right? So now mango plant. So now observe it. What is the kind of height it has? So you might all have seen through that, gone through the plant. Okay, you have all observed that. So mango tree is much taller than your height, than me. Okay, so what is the kind of stem it has? Not green, not tender. It is having hard stem as well as thick stem. Okay, you cannot cover it up. You have to extend your both arms to cover its stem, but still it is not going to be covered with your arms, right? Such a big and hard thick hard and thick stem it has. So what about the branches? They are much above the ground. Yes, am I right? So what is the kind of plant it belongs to? Tree. Okay, this is second example. Let's go for the third example here. So what is that? Lemon tree it is given. So this lemon tree is almost familiar. See, whatever the examples they are given, they are very much familiar to you, right? So tomato plant is much familiar to you. You all have seen in your fields and your gardens, right? Mango plants, just they are available near in your village itself or in your fields. Even lemon you will have in front of your house also, or in gardens also. So lemon. So what is the height it has? So it is having this height slightly lighter than you. Okay, how much height you have now at 7th class, 6th class or 7th class? Little much above than that. That is lemon. Okay, so it is not usually much taller. It's little height taller than yours, right? So what is the kind of stem it has? Lemon, not green and not tender. So it is having the not a thick stem. It is having a hard stem. Okay, so where do the branches appear here? At the base of the stem, the branches start appearing in the lemon plant. So it belongs to a category of which plant? That is shrub. Okay, so based on the observation that which we have done when you went for a nature walk, we are going to classify these all examples into different kinds of categories of plants. Yes, so based on the characters, the plants can be classified into how many types? Mainly 3 types, and 2 more types are there that I will explain later on. So mainly 3 types of plants that you will see. Those are herbs, shrubs and trees. Okay, so here in diagram you can look at it in your textbook. Okay, so example A, that is an example for herb. So look at the figure B, that is shrub. Look at the figure C, that is tree. Okay, so what are herbs then? Let us try to understand that. So what is the definition of herbs? Almost all. Yes, you all have seen these herbs. Okay, so now make a point of it and write definition in your notebook. Yes, it's simple. So what are herbs? The question is, what are herbs? The answer is, the plants with green and tender stem are called herbs. If the plants having a green and tender stem, so then such plants are called herbs. Okay, so they are usually short. Okay, usually herbs are short and they may not have many branches. Usually they will not have many branches here. So what are the examples for herbs? Tell me. So smaller tulsi plant. Okay, yes, and what are the grass type of plants which you grow in your fields? Jowar, okay, paddy, wheat. Okay, these are all examples for herbs. Okay, they have very short, very smooth, that is green and tender stem they have. So what are the next category of plants? That is shrubs. What are shrubs? So some plants, they have the stem branching near the base. The stems start bearing the branches near its base only. Okay, and the stem of these plants is hard but not very thick. The stem of these plants will be hard only but not thick, like a banyan tree, mango tree, neem tree. They have very wide and thick stem. No, not like that. The stem is hard here but not very thick. So such trees are examples for the shrubs. The examples are what? Tell me. Lemon tree, okay, hibiscus tree, okay, then pomegranate plant. So these are all the examples for shrubs. And next one is here. So trees. Okay, next category of plants is trees. So some of the plants, they grow very tall. Okay, you all have observed the tall trees in your nearby your village, or in a field, or a hilly areas, or in forest. So they grow very tall, and their stem also, they have very hard stem as well as thick stem also. Stem is very hard, at the same time it's very thick. That, so how many meters it is thick. Okay, that is the characteristics of the trees. So they grow much above from the ground. So the trees, these category of plants, we call them as trees, no, they grow much higher than the taller than the ground. Okay, so such plants are the example for trees. So many examples you can give for trees: neem, banyan tree. Okay, so examples are many are there. So make a list of those trees here. So dear students, the remaining categories of plants I will explain you in the next period. Thank you and have a nice day, students.